Hi beautiful people, Happy New Year. Crazy, we're in 2019. How did that happen? Merry Christmas. I hope you all had a beautiful holiday season. Some of you may still be on your holidays. It has been a while since I've been on here. Leading up to Christmas was just nuts. So much going on and I just didn't have a chance to sit down and film a video. 2018 was the worst year of our lives. It was just filled with sadness, grief, anger, frustration, heartbreak, losing Tim's mum, my mother-in-law, who I was extremely close to for 10 years. I considered her my second mother. She was amazing and supported me in ways other people hadn't in the past. She was really there for us in every possible way. And so losing her unexpectedly in March last year, 2018, was completely devastating and shook us to the core. We had been dealing with infertility for over 4 years, but losing her just tipped me over the edge. I lost all motivation. Probably safe to say I went into a bit of a depression. I just did not feel like myself and, just miserable. So 2018 was pretty much a write-off. I was emotionally eating. I put on 4 to 5 kilos. I just was not happy, and coming to terms with that kind of loss. I think I uploaded about 4 videos last year. There were a lot of positives, of course, but it was a very dark year for us. I know Christmas is a tough time of year for anyone going through infertility, so my heart and thoughts were with you all because I get it. I understand how hard it is. This Christmas for us was very different to previous Christmases. I have always hoped from the minute we decided trying that I would experience a pregnancy or have a baby on Christmas. And each Christmas that's gone by, it's been really hard. And you do feel left behind because all of your friends and family and, even people within this infertility community now have had their IVF or rainbow babies, having their second, and that's really tough for me. Of course, I'm happy for them. It's gotten to a point though where Tim and I are one of those small percentage of people who have had multiple miscarriages, multiple failed IVF cycles, and we're still babyless. So all of the success stories, people getting pregnant pretty easily through IVF, it doesn't really give me hope anymore because I'm 5 years into it. It's a whole different ballgame for us, obviously. I still do have hope, but it is changed hope, if that makes sense. So this Christmas, I didn't even really think about infertility, to be honest. It was so overshadowed by not having Kath there. She was the matriarch of the family and always hosted Christmas and did it so beautifully. This channel, I've always wanted to be open and honest with you all. I've not felt like myself last year, and a part of me now is feeling like I'm ready to try to make a change and try to stay motivated and keep motivated and do things that bring me joy and make things happen. Tim and I hosted Christmas at our house this year for the very first time. It was a lot of work and very, very overwhelming, which is why I haven't done any videos. The Q&A I have not even filmed yet. 3 weeks before Christmas we did receive Tim's DNA fragmentation results. They were not what we were hoping for, unfortunately, and that hit us hard, especially Tim. It hit both of us hard, but Tim felt so much guilt after receiving those results. I shared them on Instagram, so some of you might already be aware of them, but basically his sperm analysis, which is what most fertility specialists do for couples, came back normal, as have his previous ones. All is normal. The count, the motility, the morphology, what else? Everything is normal in that respect. The DNA fragmentation aspect of the test, which is what we paid extra for, and which is something we have never had tested before, in a way surprised us but didn't. It was the sperm DNA fragmentation results that, I guess, gave us another piece of our very complex puzzle. All that it said was, I don't know if that's going to be backwards. Is it backwards? Tim was the first to read it. I was still at work. He read the results, and it says the DNA integrity is poor. It should be, in brackets it should be less than 30%, and Tim's was at 31%. And on the back of the results, it says, research indicates that sperm with high levels of DNA fragmentation have a lower probability of producing a successful pregnancy. A review of data of 500 semen samples showed that patients with a DNA fragmentation level of greater than 29%, Tim's is at 31%, are likely to have significant reduced fertility potential, including a significant reduction in term pregnancies and an increase in miscarriage rate. So, receiving these results really provided us with answers for our failed IVF cycles, our low fertilization numbers and low numbers of embryos making it to freeze, our recurrent miscarriage. I don't know if I said that already. It's another piece of the puzzle, and as I said, Tim was feeling incredibly guilty, which broke my heart because the last thing I want is for him to blame himself. That's not what this is about. It's just, I guess, another explanation that we've finally got. Not only was Tim feeling guilty and depressed that after all this time we've been thinking his sperm is fine because the semen analysis has come back normal, and finding out it's not, he also felt angry. Why don't the clinics test for this earlier? You know, when our first IVF cycle in 2016, we had 9 mature eggs and 2 fertilised without ICSI. That should have been a red flag straight away to look into it further. I know they always say, oh, it could be the eggs, could be the sperm, we don't know. But at least mention the test and give us the option. Our second IVF cycle, I had 11 mature eggs. Oh no, there weren't. 11 got collected. I had 8 mature eggs and 6 fertilised, but only 1 made it to freeze, and it didn't even survive the thaw process. You know, after that cycle, then it should definitely be mentioned. You know, but little did we know, we went on to have another IVF cycle. 15 mature eggs and 4 fertilised. It's just, we should be given all options before we invest so much money into IVF. I want to share with the world, which is why I started these videos in the first place, is to help other people in similar situations, to share my experiences, to hopefully help you in yours and open your eyes to things that are out there. I know I've learnt a lot on social media from you guys about things to ask my specialist, and I'll be forever grateful for this community of support. Anyway, so that's where we're at. 31%, it should be below 29. Poor DNA integrity. We've got that as well as the matching DQ alpha gene and my activated natural killer cells. So without an extensive immune suppressing protocol for me, it's made it really hard for us to get pregnant. It's not going to happen naturally anymore because my body has become immune to getting pregnant with our embryos, our genetic embryos. Tim's DQ alpha gene is too similar to mine, which just doesn't work. If you're new here or you've missed where we're at, we are in the process of starting to go down the surrogacy path. We've had a very dear friend offer to be our surrogate, which is the most incredible gift and gesture, and we are just so incredibly grateful for our friends who mean the world to us, and they want to make this happen for us. So surrogacy was where we thought we were heading down. It is where we're continuing to head down, but after receiving the fragmentation results, I didn't really know where that left us. We had no idea whether it would even be possible for Tim and I to make a viable embryo, whether the fragmentation percentage can decrease with the change of diet and exercise and vitamins and antioxidants, all that stuff. We had no idea really when we got those results. After posting on Instagram and hearing back from so many people with so many success stories of their partners being in the 50-60% fragmentation, coming right down to like 16%, it gave us a lot of hope. And a lot of that was to do with change in diet and really being careful about what you eat and taking the vitamins that he needs. So my potential surrogate friend and I went to an appointment with my specialist on the 17th of December. I will upload a separate video about that appointment, otherwise this is going to get too long, with some footage of that day and let you know how that went and what my specialist had to say about the fragmentation. It's just been such an emotional roller coaster, and I've mentioned before, sperm donor or embryo adoption is something that we would definitely consider, but after losing Kath, I just feel I just would love a little mini Tim. I think a lot of us probably feel that way. Love to have mini versions of the person we love. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, but we are feeling hopeful that we can change the fragmentation percentage and have a different result in a few months' time. I will be sure to update you on how the specialist appointment went and what she said about the DNA fragmentation. If you have any experience with the sperm DNA fragmentation, I would love to hear from you. I am trying to remain hopeful, as is Tim. I guess time will tell. I hope you all had a beautiful Christmas, as hard as I know it probably was for many of you, but just know you're not alone. All we can do is pray that next year will be different. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.